box truck. We're live. We're streaming from Schoolie Palooza, and my intention tonight was to stream from my laptop. However, my lap. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna make it for a whole hour. I don't know if we're gonna make it. Let me know if you're in the chat. I'm trying to dig out my phone stuff right now for you guys. If you're in the chat, let me know if you can see this. Let me know if it is smooth or is it choppy. Let me know how it's looking. I see we got John C here. Hey, hey, hey. Happy to have you here, John C. Happy to have you here. Okay, I turned my laptop internet off. That help. Kevin Van Buren says it's choppy. That's kind of what I'm thinking, Kevin. It's interesting because I'm out here in the desert, pretty far from a cell tower. But I was able to stream last night. Pixel like Mario Bros. Oh my goodness. I was able to watch YouTube last night, stream shows, and the internet seemed to work good. So it might be my upload speeds. Blurry vision and choppy. That sounds terrible. So my download seems to be good, but maybe the upload is kind of lagging behind. So I don't know what to tell you. We're out here in the desert trying to make it happen. Overall, the speeds are pretty good though, just for doing regular internet stuff, but maybe not for live streaming. I don't know why, but live streaming just pulls a lot of power. When is Nomad Brad going to have his own Nomad Brad Palooza? That's a good question, John C. I'll tell you what, the odds are looking pretty good. So one thing I wanted to talk about is it's doable. Robert says it's doable. I appreciate you, Robert. It's doable. Well, if it gets too choppy, I won't keep you guys hanging. But one thing I wanted to mention is that this year at Schoolie Palooza, so Schoolie Palooza, it's a big event, hundreds of people, and everyone's kind of broken off into their own little camps all throughout the desert. And so in the past, Nomad Brad's kind of likes his privacy type person. So normally I'm not a big camper type person, not like a big group type person. I like to have my own space and then go join a group and feeling social, and then retreat to my van when I'm, wanting some alone time. But this year, Nomad, we got our own camp going, a bunch of box from the cool in person, and just see that like it's possible to have a gathering and have everybody getting together and getting along. And so at this event, we got AJ here, AJ Scoggins in his box truck with his girl Christy. I already knew AJ in person. My cousin Lonnie is here, so I already knew cousin Lonnie. But for the first time this weekend, I met Outdoors Dreadhead. Oh, buffering too bad. Sorry to hear it, man. We might have to call it if it's no bueno. I met Outdoors Dreadhead for the first time this year. Super cool dude. He's out here camped with me. And additionally, I met a gentleman named Jeffrey, who also apparently is a channel subscriber. And so Jeffrey came here all the way from Wisconsin. Very bad TBH. Damn, sorry to hear it. Well, I might just have to cancel the live stream, guys. I don't want to drag you through a bunch of buffering and poor quality internet. So keep going. Charlie Pepin says keep going. Yeah, I don't want to try to drag you guys through an unpleasant experience. But anyway, what I will say is I met Jeffrey, came all the way from Wisconsin. No, yeah, Wisconsin. Super nice guy. And then, of course, additionally, Rick, Desert Runner Rick. I know him. I did a job for him. So yeah, really cool though, right? A whole group of together that maybe I'll go over to see if I can go over to AJ's truck, do a little live stream. I might try that. Let me go check with AJ. Hold on. Here we might I don't even need this microphone. It was for the laptop, which is not working. Let's go check with AJ. See, that's the thing about having homies, you know. Might have to use that Starlink. Let's see. Oh, it's dark out here. I need a flashlight. I need a flashlight so I can see my way. Have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's gonna have 5 panels that fit on the top, and then on the very back, he's gonna have a set of panels that slide out. So, or a single panel that slides out. So he'll have a total of 6 panels, and he'll be pulling nearly 3,000 watts of energy. So that's a pretty badass system. You can see his drop down gate here. Like, look at that. That's pretty cool. So he's got this like steel ramp that drops down, and then he's got the big steel double doors on the back. This is like insulated, fire rated commercial doors, he said, that he got. So that's kind of nice. It had a roll up door before, I think. So big double doors, and then this thing that drops down, and looking pretty good. John C said it's maybe it picked up a little bit. Is that true? Is this looking better for you guys? Fan club over here, Nomad Brad. Hey, Lonnie likes it. Who's inside? Jeff and Rick. Oh, Jeff and Rick are in Lonnie's rig. Hell yeah, man. Oh yeah, okay, I guess the stream is good now. So we're good. Okay, cool. So yeah, shout out to AJ for the help with the Wi-Fi, with the Starlink. I guess I'm still gonna clearly have to get Starlink. The cell-based stuff wasn't happening. Took my e-bike out for a ride today. Still working really well. Got the Hovsco. Did really well on the rocks out here. I was hoping I didn't get a flat, and so far we're looking good. Looking pretty good on the Hovsco there. So yeah, pretty happy about it. Let's see if you guys can see me. How does the... No, you can't see me at all. The rear-facing camera doesn't even work. Okay, well, I'll see if I can use this still in my rig. I don't know what the range is on the Starlink. We'll try it out. Y'all have to let me know. Okay. Okay, so I'm back in my house. We got some smooth internet compliments of AJ and Christy and Elon Musk. So, looks like I'll have to get a Starlink connection. Right now I'm using the Connect 10 internet box. And like I said, it's been working fine for streaming videos and surfing the internet today and yesterday, but apparently it just doesn't, it can't handle streaming. I don't know what it is about streaming that's like so resource intensive, but it just takes a lot, I guess. Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit now that I'm not all choppy and looking like a Super Mario brother in 8-bit. So someone asked me, yeah, if I would ever was gonna have a Nomad Brad Palooza, and it's kind of a funny joke, right? And I don't really necessarily intend to like have my own event or anything, but what was really cool is the ability to meet a bunch of strangers from the internet in person and find out that, you know, we're all kind of like-minded and generally good people and able to get along, and no, you know, no weirdos, nobody causing drama. I met Outdoors Dreadhead in person for the first time today, and then I met this other subscriber, Jeffrey, for the first time. I think yesterday. He pulled in yesterday, and so we're all circled up with AJ, with cousin Lonnie, with Desert Runner Rick, and last night we all sat by the campfire and just hung out and talked. And I mean, we must have been out there for a couple hours, and you know, just people that don't really know each other coming together, and it's been a really nice time. And so it definitely gives me hope that you know, in the future we could do some type of gathering, maybe. You know, of course, the challenge is everybody's like spread out throughout the country, but I suppose as more and more people, you know, get their own rigs, right? And then more and more people are traveling, you kind of end up coming at least to Arizona in the winter, right? Because there's only a few spots that have good weather in the winter, like Arizona, Southern California, and Florida. That's really your only options if you don't want to freeze to death in the winter. So, you know, I'm sure as time progresses and more people hit the road, and I reach more subscribers that are on the road, then we can come together and have a hangout. So I'm looking forward to it. Desert Runner Rick gave me this cool little pocket knife here, and he said it's a great letter opener. Look at that little pocket knife, and it's got a little secondary knife on it. So I'm gonna keep this one in my junk drawer. Y'all see my junk drawer. I'm gonna keep it tucked in there and use it for opening bills and fighting off any government agencies that that come after me at the back door. Courtesy of Desert Runner Rick. So I appreciate it, Rick. Nice gesture. Thank you very much. Let's see. Charlie says we haven't met him yet. Charlie might be a weirdo, so I hope not. I think Charlie's probably a good guy, but he did ride out a Florida hurricane in an RV. So who knows? he's definitely a tough bird. That's for sure. So Schoolie Palooza has been great. This is like my, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my third day here. And it's a nice event. You know, there's hundreds of people gathered, but everyone has enough space to kind of move around. And you know, there's multiple different camps set up. There's like music camps and younger camps, and there's like school bus camps. So there's something for everybody here. You can come down and find your tribe and hang out. And there's a lot of different, you know, services and things offered. You can get, there's a lady offering tattoos. You can get a Schoolie Palooza tattoo. All kinds of massage and healers here. I actually got a massage today from Liz. Her Instagram is Self Heal with Liz. Super nice lady. I actually got one from her last year also. So got totally limbered up and relaxed and ready to go. Oh, John C said I didn't see your lights on under the truck. I forgot to turn the lights on. How dare I? So the lights are on this switch right there, and then that turns them on. I would show you guys how they work, but I'm also using my phone right now to stream, so I can't really show you. But let me go to the other side. I got a bunch of firewood over there. Right? Pretty cool. It's, you know, it's got all different colors and patterns. This is like a blue and green, like a slow fade type thing, but I like it. It's cool. Somebody was asking if it would help with rodents, keeping rodents away, and I bet it would. Desert Runner Rick has some rodent lights that he puts underneath his rig, and so I think the key with the rodents is you just want it bright, because, you know, when they're crawling around doing their mischief, they want to be in the shadows, right? So they just don't want to be exposed because there's not safety in being in the light at nighttime. So I bet leaving the lights on at night would keep the rodents away. I know you guys can't see much here. There's no zoom on the YouTube stream, but I don't know if you can hear that in the background. There's like some music bumping right now at the camp next to me. Some cheers. And these are all just different vehicles, schoolies, vans, RVs that got their lights on. It's pretty nice. And then back here, let's see, can you see this? This right here, this is all Ehrenberg, or not Ehrenberg, Blythe. I think that's Blythe, California, is like the closest town, not too far away. We're only 2.5 miles from the Pilot Travel Center, so gas and any little like convenience items you need are really close. And then if you want to go into Blythe to like Albertsons, that's only, Albertsons is only like 20 minutes away. So that's what's nice about it. You're out in the desert. It's private. It's secluded. You can, you can hang out, have a good time. But then at the same time, you're not too far away from resources. Like, for example, if you go down to Quartzsite to camp and you want to go to like a legitimate grocery store, you got to drive for like an hour to find anything. So definitely being out here in Ehrenberg, Arizona, Schoolie Palooza, I think is kind of a good spot. And it's way less crowded than Quartzsite area. Although I did notice in general, Schoolie Palooza feels like it is smaller attendance than it has been in previous years. I've been coming, I think I've been to 3 of them. I've been to 3 years of Schoolie Palooza. Kristen and I are here till the end of the month. Come join us. Okay. So AJ said he's going to be here till the end of the month, which is cool. That's like a whole nother week. And old Nomad Brad, I'm going to be here for a while too. For the first time ever, I'm at Schoolie Palooza and I don't have any hard deadline that I have to leave. So, yeah, I'll probably be here for at least another week, maybe a week and a half. So definitely, yeah, if you guys want to come down, if you're in the area, I know there's a lot of folks who are in the area, just not at Schoolie Palooza. So yeah, if you want to come through, come on down. If you want to reach out to me, I can send you the exact location if you're curious. You can reach me on Instagram or email, and I'll drop you a pin. King Gamer has entered the chat. Hello, King. Happy to see you here, man. How's it going? King still got his admin privileges. Make sure everything in the chat goes down smooth, otherwise he'll boot you out. I was just with King last week. If you guys saw Sunday's video, we were down in San Diego, right on the beach, parked up. King was box truck sitting. And so he got to have a little more square footage, made some delicious smoothies. And I didn't put it in the video, but King also made some like chicken, potato, tomato soup. So King used the Instant Pot, so King's moving on up. King's moving on up. So that was cool. It was cool to hang out down there. And this week in San Diego, things were really smooth. I didn't get hassled at all. I didn't see any police cruising by. Nobody got tickets, no warnings. It was just super mellow. So I don't know if it was just the location we were at was really laid back, or if maybe this week they're just laying off and not, not really enforcing stuff. But it seems like enforcement kind of comes in waves. Like they'll go through a week of like giving tickets to everybody and then they kind of back off. Anyway, right now it's pretty chill in San Diego. Although I did notice they have some fires popping up. So that's something to keep an eye on. San Diego is pretty safe because there's a lot of ways out. You can take freeways north or freeways east, but just something to think about. King Gamer said he had a blast. Everyone enjoyed the smoothies. We got to sit on the back deck of that big ass box truck and just watch over the bay. And it was pretty relaxing, pretty peaceful, except the last night. The last night we were there was like a huge party in that parking lot and they were playing music literally all night. I don't think it stopped. I think because I woke up I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, so loud music doesn't bother me too much. So I fell asleep. I could hear the music kind of booming in the background, and I woke up at like 6 a.m. that day, and the music was still going. So I told King, I was like, man, that they sure started early, and he was like, no, bro, they never stopped. So yeah, it was, what are you gonna do? When you're living in public, you gotta kind of just roll with the punches. But it was fun. San Diego was super cool. Happy to be back out in the desert, though. A little more freedom, a little less city life, a little more laid back out here, and really enjoying it. Let me hop into the chat. We still have 59 people here, which is impressive. I appreciate it. People putting up with the stream, with the jitters. AJ lending his Starlink, so we were able to continue the show and just kind of keep things moving. Let's see what else we got. Okay, Diver in the chat. Hello. Happy to see you, man. Haven't seen you around in a while. Welcome back. Welcome back. Arizona Online is in East Coast, Canada. That sounds chilly. That sounds chilly. Scott is in here. Says late to the show. Only 1 degrees this morning. Scott's supposed to be heading out pretty soon in his box truck. And you know what's interesting is, so I was talking to a couple people here today. I was talking to Jeffrey. He just bought a 17-foot box truck, and he bought it in California. He's going to have it shipped back to his home in Wisconsin, and then he's going to build it out and then start traveling. But he's has experience in the trades as like a construction guy, a home builder. And so he said he was interested in doing some build conversion work for other folks to help them get on the road. And then I was talking to Outdoors Dreadhead, and he said he was also interested in helping folks, maybe with some electrical, some solar or something, helping get them going and maybe do some build work. So, it's possible you might have a little assembled of vehicle conversion folks. And so I was talking with Jeffrey a little bit, and he was trying to kick around some ideas about folks like, for example, Scott, that want to have build out work done and don't necessarily want to have to do it all themselves. If there's a way that we could help kind of bridge that gap and help get people on the road, get people into no rent housing, kind of help out the community, build a bigger box truck gang. We're like a bacteria. We're like growing and breeding and dividing and creating more box truck army. So I thought that was interesting. So I don't know if any of you folks are, currently working on a build out or interested in doing a build out. And if so, if you would be interested in meeting up with the crew. And I was telling Jeffrey today, I was like, dude, if we had 4 or 5 guys, we could knock a build out really fast. A build could take me like a year. I mean, I'm not doing it full time, right? But it takes a long time. But if there was 4 or 5 people, helping, cutting and measuring and holding stuff up, I mean, we'd be like Habitat for Humanity out here, just knocking out a build in a week or something. That'd be kind of cool. So I don't know, it's just something that came up today. It'd be kind of nice. And we'd have to just roam from BLM land to BLM land and get people dialed in. But I don't know. Sounds like a cool idea. If anyone's interested, let me know. I wanted to throw out a thank you to Super Dave. Super Dave came in with a super chat. I appreciate you. Super Dave is without a doubt my #1 supporter. He has definitely contributed a lot financially, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. And it helps. It helps. I get 9 miles a gallon. Gas is expensive. Insurance is expensive. So I appreciate all the help I can get. Will Ty says, good idea. What would it cost to have 5 builders? Yeah, that's a good question. Dre's van life. 4 guys could knock out a build in a long weekend and a couple of cold ones. Yeah. And that's a good question, Will. I mean, pricing, I have no idea. We'd have to figure it out. But, it would also be a situation where we might not necessarily need everyone like building all at once for a week, but just having extra hands or somebody that's open to hold something, you know, I don't know, because you really can't get 4 people working inside of a vehicle. There's not enough space. So, we'd have to figure out if it's possible or how that would work out, but I don't know. It'd be cool. It'd be something to try out. You know, we could at least try it. Maybe we only get one build and then we all pull our hair out and say it ain't working. But you know, we could at least try it. It'd be a good YouTube video. We could say we tried. We could get something built. But you know, and of course, it would be easier on bigger vehicles like box trucks and shuttle buses are pretty easy to build. Um, you know, we're not. I don't think we're interested in doing like high end sprinter builds. You know what I mean? We're not going to be doing like fine finish carpentry and painting out in the desert. You know what I mean? But, you know, like good quality builds that look good, that more than are going to last and perform properly. That's more probably what we would be doing. Super Dave says, I'm going to hit you up in the future for wiring layout, probably in 6 months. Yeah, happy to hear it, Super Dave. Happy to help you. Super Dave got a box truck finally, so he's going to be moving forward with that. Happy to help you with a system design. And if I can send out some parts or something to help you out, man, I'd love to do it. Nomad Tim says, greetings from Maricopa, Arizona. Glad to finally catch one of your live streams on time. Thanks for joining, Tim. Yeah, in Arizona, right now, we're an hour later. So I usually go live at 6 p.m. Pacific, but it's currently 7 p.m. Arizona time. So, you know, a little bit later for you folks. Then if you're on the East Coast, I don't know what time it is. 8:30, 9:30? It's a little bit later. Appreciate you guys for hanging in. We got 69 people in the live stream, which is good. That's like regular live stream numbers. So some of you folks hung out through the technical difficulties. Real Cruz says 9:30, 10:30 p.m. East Coast of Canada. I mean, you're almost in Russia, right? Or maybe not Russia, Europe? I don't know. We're on the east side of Canada. You're almost on another continent, bro. 10:30, that's late. Yeah. That's a 4 hour. Well, oh no, my laptop didn't catch up. So, okay, 7:30. So you're 3 hours ahead. I got you, bro. Almost Russia. That is funny. Zane Johnston said, I'm going to need some electrical ideas in the future too. Heck yeah. Happy to help all you guys out. Spread the knowledge. No gatekeeping going on here. Polymath says 8:30. Polymath is just south of the border. Polymath, how far south are you? How far south are you of the border? John C says, I saw a post on Facebook that there was some vandalism to Bus. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so poor Bus, he catches a lot of flack. He has a hard time in general. It seems like he's always getting some drama, but last night or two through his window of his bus. And I talked to him and asked him what happened, and he said, so for those of you that don't know, Bus does like the sound and lighting for the sound stage. And so he's kind of like the guy in charge of the sound area. And he also has to kind of play security and make sure no one's acting a fool. So he said they threw out some kid because he was drunk. And so they threw him out of the party. And he thinks that's who threw the rock through his window. Which to me, that sounds about right. I mean, it's unfortunate, right? Like that sucks. That sucks a lot, but that's probably what happened is the drunk kid came back and threw a rock. So yeah, unfortunate. I hate to hear it, but that's road life. I mean, when you're out here, like you are the law, right? Like you can call the police, but there's no quick call of it. You got to kind of handle business out here. So, Raymond Peters said just starting a 2002 E350 4x4 box truck. That's awesome. 4x4 would be sweet. I saw an ambulance today, a beautiful ambulance conversion, 4x4, 6-liter diesel with the bulletproof engine. He had U-joint off-road do the conversion and a lift kit. It's one of the best ambulances I've ever seen. Really cool. I would show you a picture, but I can't. It's on the phone. Sorry. Polymath is in Yeah, a lot of fun. That's nice though, because you're far from the border, but it gets tropical down there, I think. The further south and east you go, it gets really tropical. I went to Tulum, um, out by Playa del Carmen, and it was beautiful. It was like a tropical rainforest. It was beautiful. I loved it. King Gamer, did you see if Mark and Eli? Last I saw, Mark was working on Zach's box truck, so I don't know if things have changed. Chillin' in DC says, love the how to set up solar videos. Yeah, thanks, Chillin' in DC. I appreciate it. Oh, I was going to tell you guys. So, Sir on Dave was supposed to come out to Schoolie Palooza with his new Kodiak box truck, his 16-foot box that he just bought. Got a very, very good deal on it. Very low price, very clean box truck. However, it had a few issues, and it turns out it needs new fuel injectors. And so, Sir on Dave didn't want to drive all the way out here on bad fuel injectors because it can like mess up the engine pretty bad, I guess. So he is in San Diego. He's gonna replace. He's waiting. What's today? Wednesday. He's having the injectors are supposed to be replaced by Friday. So he's a little behind, but he is supposed to come out after he gets the box truck. So Surande might be here in a week or 2 weeks, I don't know. But once he gets out, it's going to be build videos. And, one of the first things we're going to do is the electrical, because you want to get the electrical going first so we can the electrical system to do the build out. So we can run saws and charge drill batteries and I'm not sure what other tools he got, but we're going to do the electrical first so that we can then build the rest of the vehicle with that electrical. So it should be pretty fun. So stay tuned for that. And Sir on Dave has Starlink. So as long as I'm with Sir on Dave, the videos will be good quality. So we'll have regular uploaded videos that show the build process and the electrical, and then also the live streams will probably be also kind of related to the build out. So I'll be excited to bring you guys along kind of through the process and just see, how it goes. And a big part of doing build outs is like there's a lot of thinking and planning, right? And let's do this, let's do that, trying something out, realizing that doesn't work or maybe it's not the best choice. And so you try a different angle. So there's a lot of like trial and error to it. Um, versus building a house, you're kind of just following the way things have always been done. So, yeah, it'll be cool. I'll try to do some behind the scenes and just help you guys understand, what goes into doing a box truck build. So I'm looking forward to that. You guys should too. I think we're going to be traveling up north to Lake Havasu for the build out. Because one thing you guys want to keep in mind when you're doing hold on, let me move my chair here. I'm leaning sideways and it feels a little funky. There we go. Now I'm front and center. So when you guys are doing a build out, especially like us renegade build out in the desert, you want to try to be as close to like a Home Depot or a Lowe's as possible. Because when you're doing a build, there's always something you need, more adhesive or caulking or screws or wood or some type of fitting. So you don't want to be ideally you don't want to be an hour away from a major Home Depot, which is why you wouldn't really want to do a build out like say in Quartzsite. Even here, I don't know. I don't think there's a Home Depot or a Lowe's in Blythe. Which is the closest town. It's like 20 minutes. I think they only have like a small hardware store, which is better than nothing, but it definitely is not ideal. You want to be by a big box if you can. So we're choosing Lake Havasu because it's only like 10 minutes from BLM land to a Home Depot. And so that's going to be ideal for getting parts and running back and forth. Chilling in DC says if people can see that you don't have to be a rocket scientist to set up solar panels and give them practical applications, more people will get into it. We lost it. I don't know. I don't know if we're back or not. Hi, guys. Starlink. Elon Musk. Anyway, it's all good. We're all about helping the people out. So that's what I'm gonna do. Whatever I can to make it easy. Um, John C, I have a voiceover to videos previously on Nomad Brad. John C, if you have a voice like that, the movie trailers guy, right? 2 men in the desert with 1 box truck. Can they build it before they run out of food? That would actually be kind of cool. I wouldn't even be mad about that. I wouldn't even be mad about having a nice box truck. We might give old John C a try. See how he does. Polymath says hydration of cold ones required for the job. Couple cold beers, Polymath. I hear you, brother. Real Cruz says, I can't wait for this build. I have my main solar components as I save for a truck. Totally plan to build in Home Depot parking lot on my days off. Yeah. Yeah, you can, especially if you have a box truck because you have so much space. You can do a lot inside. In fact, my very first van, my E250 cargo van, my E250 cargo van, I did a lot of projects in the Home Depot parking lot because it's way easier when you don't know exactly what you need. You just work in the Home Depot, and then if you need a nut or a bolt or like something different, you just run in. It takes you 15 minutes to go grab the part, hit self-checkout, and you're back in the rig. So that's definitely a good way to do it. And I have a lot of Nomad friends that have done projects in the Home Depot parking lot. So definitely something to try out. Scott said I saw Scott earlier said he wants to do a design for the electrical. So yeah, Scott, I appreciate you waiting until I'm done with Schoolie, but we can set something up maybe next week or something. And I'll take care of you, brother. No problem, man. I'll get you dialed in with some proper electrical. Auto Physics says you're a nomadic burner. I went last year. It was my 13th time. So Auto Physics, I went to Burning Man this year. It was my first. It was my very. Darling, I'm gonna move to the other. Feet of being me was like a 10-year veteran of Burning Man. And he was giving me this big speech on how I have to be prepared and like radical self-reliance and like how like hostile the environment is. And I was trying to explain to him, like, dude, I've been living in my van for 7 years. Like, I'm good. I'm used to all this shit. I live in the desert for like 4 months a year. And we got out there to Burning Man, and he forgot his coffee maker. His solar panels weren't charging, and they forgot their portable power station. So I ended up making them coffee every morning and lending them my big ass power station. And I was like, bro, 10-year Burning Man veteran, and the new guy saves you. So, being a vehicle dweller, like if you can live in your vehicle, Burning Man is a breeze. It's not even difficult. It's really not. It's a super fun time, and I'm definitely going back. Hopefully next year, but definitely be going back. Elon Musk went this year for his first time with Mike Judge. Nice. I like Mike Judge. Mike Judge predicted the future with Idiocracy. He nailed it head on. Is it the only reason interested in box truck or van life is B-Man? Yeah. Yeah, so I ran my mini split this year at Burning Man, quite a bit just to keep the temperatures steady. But if you get a box truck, you can put enough solar on the roof in a mini split and you can run it as much as you want. There's really no limit. As long as you have good sun, you can run the mini split all day. So yeah, box truck is a perfect rig. I have quite a few box truck friends that went out this year. Wander Box, Mark, he was out there. Another guy called Loves Build, Jesus, he was out there. Jen, anyway, there's a bunch of box truck people. Nomad Burning Man camp, because all of us nomads, like, we're so self-reliant, and we have all of our own stuff. So it's like we need a lot less support than like the regular, you know, normies that go to Burning Man. So it'd be kind of cool to have our own little like group set up where we're all just, you know, doing our thing and, you know, having big box truck parties. So I think it'd be cool to have a vehicle dweller camp at Burning Man. I think that'd be fun. And we could do it. There's a lot of vehicle dwellers out there. And, you know, another thing I want to do, a reason I'm really interested in building a bigger box truck is I want to do a lot more like long-term events. I just found out there's an event called Building Man, and it's in Utah. It's in like mid-east Utah. I think it's in April or May, but it's like a big event. It's like a, maybe like kind of a Burning Man, not really, but a smaller one, but out in the desert. So I'd like to travel and go to more events throughout the year. I think that'd be fun. So I'd like to spend more time traveling next year, like not in the city, and spend more time out in nature, out at events, traveling, kind of just being a nomad, and less time being a San Diego mad. Somebody asked about living in a vehicle in LA. It's probably pretty easy now because everybody left because of the fires. But I stayed in LA before for weeks at a time, and I didn't have a problem. So the thing is, you know, as long as you are just, you know how to stealth camping is a skill. It's an acquired skill, but once you know how to do it, like how to successfully find a spot, you know, kind of know what's a good fit, where you're not going to stand out, where you're not like bothering people, and how to kind of just go about your business without making a scene, then you can do it anywhere. And so LA is just any other city. Like I don't care what city I'm in, I can stealth camp in any city. And so yeah, I just, you know, you go to the commercial areas, you know, park on the street by a, you know, an office building or, you know, a warehouse or something, and you're not going to have any problems. And actually, when I was in LA, last time, Sir on Dave found a parking spot right near Dodger Stadium. So we actually had this pretty cool spot that was right by a big lookout that like overlooked Dodger Stadium and a lot of LA. So it was a really pretty spot, and it was right next to a park, and there was a water fill right there where you could fill your fresh water. So it was a really premium spot, and nobody bothered us. There were multiple RVs on the street. So usually, you know, when you're looking for like a stealth camping spot, if you see other RVs camped out, like the big Class A's, usually you can stay there because those people don't move around very much. Like if you see an RV parked on the street, you can pretty much assume they've been there for like at least a week, unless they happen to just get there. But for the most part, those guys don't move much because it's hard to find parking for a 30-40 foot vehicle in a big city. So anytime you see RVs parked on the street, usually that's a sign that it's a good spot that you could also stay. So yeah, so that was cool. LA was good. San Diego was good. We stayed in Santa Monica. Santa Monica was good. Stayed in Long Beach. Long Beach was good. As long as you use your stealth camping skills, it's no problem. Yeah. Happy to be back in Arizona, though. It's definitely easier in Arizona. It's just more people expect it. There's tons of RVs that come through Arizona. So just in general, it's a pretty safe place to stealth camp and pull through. And when you go through, you'll see people all over in parking lots and Walmarts and rest areas and stuff. So Autophysics says, I want to stay by the ocean. Yeah, you could definitely, Autophysics, you could just travel the West Coast, you know, like you could spend summers south, right? Like San Diego area south. And then, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. You could spend winters south. So like San Diego area south. And then as the weather warms up, you could head north. So you could go up through, you know, Ocean Beach, LA, up into Northern California by the Redwoods, all the way up into Oregon if you wanted. And, you know, the more that you go north, once you get above like San Francisco, and Northern California is super empty. I can't though. Issue is I work in LA. Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you, I mean, if you work in LA, then no sweat. So the only thing you'll have to keep in mind is you'll want to find, you'll want to have like 4 or 5 different locations that are like good, that you know, that are tested, that you can rotate through, because you don't want to stay in one spot so long that you like overstay your welcome, and then you know, if you come back you could get hassled, right? So if you got to be like in LA, you know, within a, you know, 5 or 10 mile radius kind of permanently, then I would try to find 4 or 5 spots, and I would try to spend like, you know, maybe no more than 3 or 4 days in a spot, and kind of rotate through, because that way people won't necessarily associate seeing your vehicle with you living there. But like if you just park your box truck in one spot for a whole week, then people might kind of suspect maybe you're living in it. And then if they see your truck again parked for like a whole week without moving, you know, a couple weeks later, then it just might raise suspicion. And not just for people, but like law enforcement, because I think law enforcement is kind of, they're always on the lookout and they're taking notice of like new vehicles and stuff. So if you're in a spot for like 3 or 4 days and then you're gone for 3 weeks, it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? They're not probably going to pay any attention. And you can definitely do that in LA because there's just so much parking. There's so many streets, so many side streets. So yeah, I mean, one spot, 4 days, and you don't have to go far. I mean, you could go 3 miles, right? Have a spot, go 3 miles, have another spot, go 5 miles, have another spot, and just kind of rotate. And then additionally, you can set up your stealth camping spots based on like services you want to use. So like if you have a specific grocery store that you like, you know, maybe spend a few nights a week, because I don't know how often you need to get groceries. Maybe get groceries once a week and then spend a few nights by the grocery store, you know, and then go spend a few nights by your office, spend a few nights by your gym. So you can kind of pick stealth camping spots that are near places you want to be anyway. And then that way you're not driving around a lot, right? So you're not having to like, you know, drive in 10 miles to go to work and then drive back 10 miles, you know, to go camp. So the idea is you don't want to have to move around a whole lot, and also you don't want to have to go that far. So if you could set up something like that, that'd be pretty premium. And it's easy in a big city like LA because there's just so much going on. There's so many people from all over the place and they have a lot on their plate. So I feel like for the most part, because they're so busy, like putting out literally putting out fires, but also dealing with fights and gangs and illegals and drugs, that kind of the last thing on their checklist is going to be messing with some guy who might be living in his box truck, right? That's not going to bring them any glory like a, you know, 500-pound meth bust. You know what I mean? So they're probably going to just kind of pass you by. That's my advice. Charles Soros with the super chat. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. Every dollar helps. Put fuel in the tank, rubber on the tires, food in the belly. I recently started buying this, speaking of food in the belly, this sourdough bread. I got it at Grocery Outlet. I don't eat a lot of bread in general. I feel like I don't want to eat a whole lot of carbs, but like if I eat a lot of white bread, it makes me feel kind of like sluggish and like a little tired. I think it's just full of chemicals and shit, but the sourdough is pretty good. And it's non-GMO, but it's just simple ingredients. So it digests really well. And I just love, what I like to do is I take the slices out and I'll put like, for breakfast today, I did some over medium eggs. And then I put like 4 over medium eggs on 2 slices of toast with some tomatoes. And it was really delicious. So if you guys are curious, that sourdough is legit. Richard is asking what part of Arizona I'm in. I am currently in Ehrenberg, Arizona, right on the border of California, right next to Blythe, California. And so I'm at Schoolie Palooza, big Nomad event in the desert, and it's a fun time. You should come on out if you're in the area. Let's see what else we got here. Autophysics said box truck solar LED grow. I mean, honestly, yeah, you could probably do it in a box truck. The only thing is, I feel like it's possible. I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy, but I know in the past, law enforcement has used thermal imaging cameras on helicopters to find grow houses. But I don't think I don't think they do that anymore. Weed's basically, it's legal. It's basically free. It's everywhere in every dispensary. So I don't think they would even care if you were growing it. So you probably could. Try it out, brother. Let me know what happens. Richard says, I'm in Lake Havasu City. That's why. Yeah, Richard. I was talking earlier about we're probably going to do a build in Lake Havasu City in a couple weeks, a box truck build. So if you're still in Lake Havasu in a couple weeks, we're thinking about going up to Craggy Wash and doing a build out. So you're welcome to stop by, say hi, hang out, see what's up, help us lift some plywood, get it going, man. But otherwise, right now we're all camped out here in Ehrenberg. We got a little nomad circle going. There's like 5 of us. AJ said he's going to be here for another week. I'll be here for probably another week. A couple people are coming and going, but feel free to come on down if you want to join the party. When you pull into Schoolie Palooza, just look to the left and you'll see my box truck. It's hard to miss. Big orange box truck. You can't miss it on the left. Super Dave, have you purchased or even found one yet? Good question, Super Dave. I haven't purchased one yet. I wanted to sell my box truck first and then use that money to buy a new one. Diane and Eric, are you talking about Nomadic Fanatic? I didn't see him. No, I don't know what his bus looks like. I don't watch his channel. Nice guy. I like him. I just don't watch his channel. But no, I haven't seen him. But I know he's here. I think I saw on his Facebook page, he posted some pictures. Super Dave, I want to sell my van first before I buy a new rig because I might want to get something, that costs like a little more money. And I would need to do that. And I've had people interested in the box truck, but I've had to tell everybody I can't sell it until February because I had that job in San Diego already scheduled. And so I literally need this box truck to do that installation job that I did last week. Excuse me. So, yeah, I couldn't sell it yet, but now all my commitments are complete. So I technically could sell it at this point. So I will let the people know that it is officially available for sale, and then we'll see what happens. My backup plan, if it doesn't sell quickly, I could just buy one. I did find a pretty good deal on a 2004 Isuzu NPR 18-foot box, 18 by 8 by 8. It's a monster. 5.2 liter diesel, 41,000 miles. And they're only asking $9,500 for it, which is a pretty good price. But I'm kind of on the fence because I also would kind of like to have something newer. I just don't know how much I trust a diesel engine from 2004. Like, I know the engine itself is going to be good, but it's like everything on that vehicle is from 2004. All the hoses and belt and wiring and all the plastics. Like, I just don't want to get myself in a situation where I get a vehicle that's unreliable. Because as I mentioned, I want to do a lot of traveling and a lot of nature stuff. And I want to be 20 miles, into the forest. And so I don't want to be 20 miles into the forest with an unreliable vehicle that's going to break down on me. That's a nightmare situation. But it would be a good YouTube episode. So maybe I should push my luck and just see what happens. I'll publish a video with my Starlink just crying for help on some dusty BLM road because my engines broke down. So anyway, that's my thought process. And that's why I might want to get something a little bit newer, which would be a little more expensive, which would mean I need to have the money from the sale of this vehicle because Nomad Brad is not a rich man. And so that's the situation. Let's see what's going on. Have you considered a flex fuel engine is what Autophysics says. I think, what's a flex fuel? It runs on E85 ethanol, right? I think that's what it is. Isn't flex fuel either gasoline or E85? Is that what it is? I would honestly, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I rarely even pay attention to that E85 stuff. Isn't it more expensive? Why would I want to run E85? Or is it cheaper? I feel like they might have that more like in the Midwest or something. I don't see it very much out here. It's probably banned in California. It's probably not like green enough or something. But, oh, it's half price. What? I haven't seen that out here, no. E85 is cheaper, but you burn more. Interesting. No, but honestly, I would prefer to have a gasoline engine if I could. Dave says it's cheaper, but you get less miles per gallon. Gotcha. Yeah. I would prefer to have a gasoline engine just because I know all the shenanigans of diesel engines. A lot of extra parts, turbochargers, high pressure oil pumps, super expensive injection systems. So I would prefer or I should say injection systems. I would prefer a gas engine, but I don't know what's going to happen. We'll just see. They have Raid OH58s and a few other airframes in every state that it is not legal. The National Guard full-timers run those programs. I don't even know what any of that is. Raid OH58s. What's an airframe? Sir, I don't understand any of that. Sorry. What's an airframe? I don't know. Dropping the facts, spitting facts that go right over my head. I don't even know. Did I thank Charles Serratos yet? Thank you, sir, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Robert, oh yeah, it's to protect the guy trying to grow out of his truck. Oh, they have Raid 08. Okay. Okay, thank you, Robert. So Robert says for the guy thinking about doing an LED grow in the truck, they got airplanes looking for that shit. Yeah, I knew they did some scanning to look for grow houses. Because, the government don't want you selling weed unless they get their tax money out of it. Which is like alcohol, right? Or like cigarettes or whatever. They just want to make sure they get their cut. I get it. I mean, what are you going to do? But yeah, they don't want you doing free stuff. They don't want you doing free stuff. They want to get their cut. How we doing tonight? 60 minutes. We just crossed the 1 hour mark. We have 77 people on the live stream. That is phenomenal. 49 thumbs up. That's a pretty good ratio. That might be on one of the higher end of thumbs up to people viewing. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys have any questions or anything, drop them in the chat. That's kind of Avery Doberman. I'm online. I appreciate you, Avery. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything you want to specifically talk about, let me know. Happy to drop some knowledge. Avery says, because you're consistent. I try to be consistent. I try to do what I can. God Seeker, can you tell me how much do you sell that truck for that you have right now? $50,000, sir, is the asking price for this vehicle right now. If you want information, I can send you a link. Yeah, you can. It's public knowledge. $50,000 is the price for this truck. Scott wants to know about elevator bed. Lazy ass Asian in the house. Hello, happy to see you. One of my subscribers and loyal install client. Happy to have you here. I used the no drill solar roof rack system on her Ford Transit. Came out beautiful. Came out very nice. And Andrea, hello. Thank you for being here. Yes, I'm enjoying the hell out of Schoolie Palooza. It's a very nice time. So AJ's chiming in on the bed lift. He said he loves his Happy Jack elevator bed. Yeah, so that's the thing, Scott. When it comes to bed lift systems, elevator beds, Godseeker, $50,000, sir, is the price. 50,000 US dollars is the price to be the new owner of this beautiful home on wheels. Lazy Ass Asian is asking about Schoolie Palooza. So the one I'm at now, this is the original OG Schoolie Palooza. Schoolie Palooza started out like 10 years ago, maybe longer. It's a free event on BLM land the last 2 weeks of January. It's always in the same place. It's always on the same dates. What happened is some guy came in and trademarked the name Schoolie Palooza that already had been in use for years and tried to all of a sudden create an organized event and sell tickets for it. So this other Schoolie Palooza event is happening in February in Quartzsite. Different date, different location, and I think he's selling tickets. So I don't know what to expect, but let me tell you, when I walk around today and yesterday, I recognize all the people that I've seen coming here for the last 3 years. I don't know who's going to be to another dude corporate event. I don't know if it's going to, and I was talking to someone else about this. Like, I don't know if there's going to be 10 people or 1,000 people. I have no idea. But a lot of the real like nomads were kind of pissed about it because he's charging and he's throwing off a lot of people that just want to come to this event. And so for those people, they're going to get hoodwinked into going to his paid event, which probably isn't going to be as good. Anyway, that's it. There's 2 Schoolie Paloozas technically, but this is the real Schoolie Palooza, but we don't have the trademarked name. Anyway, yes, Ehrenberg, Lazy Ass Asian. I'm in Ehrenberg. I'm going to be here for probably another week. Okay. Let me try to help out Scott here. I feel bad. We started talking about Happy Jacks and then I got distracted. Yes, Scott. So the Happy Jack bed lift, that's by far the best choice, the most reliable. They use them in RVs and toy haulers. AJ has one, and everyone I talk to that has a Happy Jack enjoys it. I've never met somebody that owns one and hates one. So that's saying a lot. They're very well built. They're reliable, which is important because the one nightmare I have is buying some knockoff Asian, I'm sorry, not Asian, but knockoff, like, you know, overseas bed lift, and then it breaks down and your bed is stuck up in the ceiling and you can't go to sleep. That's my biggest nightmare. So I like the Happy Jack for that reason, but it's 12 volts, so it'll run directly off a 12-volt battery bank. Or if you have a 24-volt battery bank, you can just run a step-down converter to power your Happy Jack. The only drawback to the Happy Jack is it is expensive. So I forget what AJ said. They're nearly $3,000. So that's the only thing is, yeah, they're expensive. It's an investment. But the thing you're gonna use every day, you know, and it's reliable. That is because there are some other ones you'll find on like Amazon or AliExpress that uses Scott says, what about the headspace? So the thing is, Scott, it's going to put the top of your mattress on the ceiling. So like in your box truck, I think you have 7-foot ceilings. So if you have 10 foot, would just take your ceiling height minus thickness of your mattress, and then minus like a little bit for the bed frame. So like if you have a 10-inch mattress, I would probably add 2 inches for the bed frame. So you would lose a foot of ceiling height with the Happy Jack. So if you have a 7-foot ceiling, you're going to be at 6 feet, which depending on your height, that might be acceptable. For me, that's acceptable. If you have a 6-foot ceiling, you're going to be down to 5 feet, which kind of sucks. They do have some cheap ones you can get on AliExpress and Temu, and they use like a belt system on a winch, and you mount these. It looks like what it looks like is a seat belt with like a seat belt retractor, and you mount one like to each wall, and then it has a motor that pulls the bed up and down. It's a lot cheaper. They're about 500 bucks instead of 3,000, but I don't know what the reliability is because it's hard to find reviews on them. You know, there's a few people that have reviewed them on YouTube, but there's no long-term data on how those things hold up. And so that's something that I don't know. And if something breaks, you know, you got to try to get parts from China, and, you know, so I don't know. Yeah, Polymath, that's what I'm talking about. There's an AliExpress version, but it's different. Happy Jack is all metal, and it uses a chain drive gear motor to move the bed. So it's like super heavy duty. All the knockoff stuff from China is just using like nylon straps and little motors up at the top because they got to ship that shit from China. So they're trying to save on shipping, make it cheap. So I don't know how, you know, how long it's going to last. And if it breaks, you probably can't get parts. You probably have to just buy a whole new unit and then wait for it to get shipped on the boat from China. So that's the only downside, is it's kind of untested. But there are cheaper options. But the thing is, Scott, if you're talking about ceiling height, it doesn't matter what style you get. It's all going to be the same issues because the elevator design is going to pull that mattress up against the ceiling. So, I mean, basically, you would just have to kind of duck down to use the seating area under the bed. You could duck down to use the seating area under the bed. I mean, if it's just because of your bro who's 6'6", like, I mean, how much time is he going to really be in there? You know, like, I don't know. But if it's a legitimate concern, then I guess you'd have to do either some kind of Murphy bed, or you could do like a slide out bed system like what I have, where it's like a bed bench and you slide it out. Yeah, dude, if he's not going to be there that much, I think it'd be fine. Because if he's 6'6", and your ceilings are 7, it's going to be down to 6 feet. So he would just have to like duck his head down as he sits, you know, onto the bench. But I mean, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. And let me tell you, when I was growing up, my best friend was 6'7", and that dude was always like ducking shit. Like he was used to having to duck down, like to go through doorways and stuff. So if your friend is 6'6", he's used to having to duck and navigate like low ceilings. So he's very proficient at walking under that Happy Jack. I promise you. It won't be a problem. So that's my opinion. I do like the bed lift though. It gives you the most space. He has an RV. Yeah. 6'6" in an RV is tough because RVs in general are not, the ceilings are not that tall in an RV. He would benefit from an 8-foot box truck like the one that I'm considering. 8-foot ceilings. So even with insulation and everything, you're still going to be over 7.5 feet. And then even with the bed lift, you know, you're still going to have 6.5 feet from the ceiling. So that's what he needs, is an 8-foot. Auto physics. Did you trip really hard on the playa? No, I did not. I don't really use hardcore drugs. When I was young, I had epilepsy, like childhood epilepsy. And I went to the doctor, like when I was older, like a neurosurgeon, and he told me, like we're in his office, and he told me, he's like, hey, don't ever do hard drugs like acid because it could, like, you know, trigger a seizure in you. So for that reason, Nomad Brad I don't play with that stuff. But I did partake in some mushrooms, which were delicious. And I really enjoyed the mushrooms on the playa. There's so many bright lights, LED lights. out there, and like all the art cars and stuff driving around. So it was really beautiful. The mushrooms were awesome. It was a really good time. And of course, like the music is intensified, the lighting is intensified, and yeah, it was really fun. But there were a lot of other people that were tripping balls out in the desert, that's for sure. So good times were had by all. So yeah, it was a good time. Love Burning Man. So I think we got Scott squared away on the Happy Jack system. Any other additional questions? Otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Might go out and see if we're going to do a fire tonight. Mush is fun. I was taking it easy this year. Yeah, man. Happy to hear it. Yeah, you know, that other thing too, right? Like, I want to make sure that I remember my experience, you know? I don't go there and trip so hard that I then can't recall the experience that I had, you know, because then it almost defeats the purpose, right? Not quite, but almost. So even with some mushrooms, I had a very clear head. I remember everything vividly. I had a great time. No bad vibes, met some really cool people, did some fun dancing, and just had a really good and memorable experience. And so I'd love to see that continue into next year. Positive experience. I'm going to take a peek out the window. It's looking dark and cold out there. A little let's see what is it? It's currently 56 degrees outside, but 69 degrees here in the box truck. So I haven't ran the heater all day. I ran my diesel heater this morning when I woke up. It's cold in the morning because I don't run the heater at night. So when I woke up, it was like in the high 40s here in the van. I want to say it was like 48, 49 when I woke up. It was cold. So I put the diesel heater on, ran it for a couple hours, and then turned it off because then the sun comes up and it's not a big deal. But I haven't used the heater at all since, you know, like 8 a.m. And it maintains temperature in here pretty nice. I mean, considering that's 50, 60, that's like a 15-degree temperature split, you know. So the inside of this rig does pretty well at retaining temperature. The insulation does well, and it'll still be temperature in here for probably more hours. So I'm pretty impressed, you know. If you guys are wondering about how these things do in cold weather, they do really, really well. And then when it is cold and you want to run a heater, all the insulation just really helps hold that heat inside. So it lasts even longer. And, you know, you're not running the heater all the time because it's able to kind of maintain the heat you're creating. So, yeah, it's a really good system. Pretty efficient. I love it. I think that's it for me, guys. I appreciate you tuning in for the live stream from Schoolie Palooza. Thank you, John C., reminding me not to forget my lights. I leave them on all night. It's such a low power draw. It doesn't even bother, but I appreciate the reminder. Thanks for tuning in to the Schoolie Palooza live broadcast. I wish I could have showed you guys, you know, like a walk around of the area, but it's dark out here already by the time we're doing a live stream. And clearly the cell signal is not good enough to do a live stream. So that's just what it is. You'll have to wait for my videos, and then I'll do some tours and walking around on the videos, and so you guys can see what's going on. This Sunday's video is a review of the Blue Eddy Charger 1 DC to DC charger. So if you guys are curious how that works, that's going to be the pre-published video for Sunday. But I'll probably put out the Schoolie Palooza content the next week. So if you guys want to see what's going on, see the crew here, see some interviews and see what's happening, tune in 2 Sundays and you'll see that. And then I'm live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. So tune in next Wednesday and see what's going on. I don't know. Sir on Dave might be here. He might be doing some build stuff. AJ will probably still be here. Who knows? It's going to be crazy, but it's going to be fun. So I appreciate you guys for being here. I want to thank again Charles Serratos for the super chat. Adventures with Super Dave for the super chat. Thank you to AJ Scoggins and Christy for loaning their Starlink. It's a box truck community effort just to keep these lives going. It was great to meet Outdoors Redhead and Jeffrey and see Desert Runner Rick and cousin Lonnie. I appreciate all the support. If you guys want to come out here and hang, you're welcome. Reach out to me and I'm happy to share the location. And I hope to see everybody sometime, someplace, either in person or on the internet. That's it for me, Nomad Brad, signing out. Peace.